PSP that accounts for the importance of peace and its early implications. So, may I have the honor of your presence, Mr. Denmark, to the floor. Thank you again.
Actually, when I came, I didn't know exactly where I was coming, what was going to happen. But it was a nice surprise because I saw many of you who had beautiful ideas and who also listened to each other. And although each one in the room, I understand that it's very different and coming from a different background. And I think that this is important to have a good collaboration in such an important objective, which is the world peace. And I would also like to thank Mr. And every one of you who gave the time to listen to these few minutes. It will not be long. It's just before the video, we are going to watch a video, 8-minute video, to give a small introduction what it is about. So the Prem-Rawat Foundation works worldwide based on the basic principle of peace. The actual message is conveyed by Prem-Rawat, who shares his understanding that peace begins from every individual. If we want to have world peace, first we need to have individual peace. First, each one of us needs to feel good in the heart. So the Prem-Rawat Foundation organizes events worldwide in various places, small events and big events. For example, recently there were events in the European Parliament, was invited to speak in the United Nations, in other parliaments of different countries, and also in big audiences in India, 300,000 people, and in small audiences like 80 people in prison, because the Prem-Rawat Foundation also launches a peace education program, which is a program that helps the people who participate in it to discover their inner resources and find the strength and the resources they need to move further in their life. This video we are going to watch is about the Pledge to Peace. The Pledge to Peace is an initiative that started in 2011 from the European Parliament by the first Vice President at that time of the European Parliament, who was Gianni Pittella, and he invited an event for peace with many organizations, important people and forums and different entities, with the objective to start some work on peace. The keynote speaker of this event was Prem-Rawat. there was an agreed pledge to peace that was signed by all these people, and after that there was each one left out of the event with some work. And the results that came out of this event were unexpectedly. Each one of these organizations had some actions which was much more than what was believed that will happen with the start of this event. For example, in the event participated also Jeremy Gilley, who is the founder of Peace One Day, the organization he's a peace activist. And he also managed to have the 21st of September, which is the Peace Day, declared by the United Nations, to stop the war. He went to Afghanistan and Syria and all these places, and he managed for one day, even with the Taliban, for one day no war. So it was possible to bring medicine, food for the people, and this was one small achievement because we want to have 365 days in the year peace, but it was something. So Prem Rawat and Jeremy Gilley, they met each other, and although they have a different approach, each one starts from a different point, they had a conversation together, an interview, which was recorded, and this was broadcasted, and millions of people had the chance to watch it. So out of one event, there was a big impact, and many other occasions that happened after this event. You will see here in Rome, there is a chain of schools who cooperated with another chain of schools of UNESCO, and they arranged in the whole Italy, in all the schools, to work about peace as a project. And on 21st of September, which is the Peace Day, they had to show their projects, and they gave awards. And this like ceremony was transmitted in 4,500 students in all the schools in Italy, which also helps to have an education about peace. So the purpose I wanted to show this video today is that you all are aware about what is happening, and maybe something good can come out of it. Prem Rawat had come to Athens 1 year ago. He spoke in badminton to 1,500 people. But if there is a united invitation for him to come, I know that he loves to come to Greece because of the situation also. And maybe we have something bigger, which can have a big impact. And all this always in respect with the differences of each other, because each one has their differences, thank God, we're not all, but also we have the basic similarities which can unite us. Ναι. Είμαι εθελόντρια του Ιδρύματος Prem Rawat, και το οποίο έχει ένα έργο παγκόσμιο για την ειρήνη. Ο ιδρυτής του Ιδρύματος είναι ο Prem Rawat, που η βασική του αρχή με την οποία προσεγγίζει τους ανθρώπους τις τελευταίες 4 δεκαετίες είναι ότι η ειρήνη είναι εφικτή, αλλά για να μπορέσει να γίνει χρειάζεται να ξεκινήσει από την καρδιά του κάθε ανθρώπου. Όταν ο κάθε άνθρωπος μπορεί να αποκτήσει ειρήνη, τότε η ειρήνη θα έρθει και στον κόσμο. Μέσα σε αυτό το πνεύμα υπάρχουν πολλές δραστηριότητες. Υπάρχει το πρόγραμμα εκπαίδευσης στην ειρήνη που απευθύνεται σε μαθητές, σε πολλά ακροατήρια. Υπάρχουν εκδηλώσεις στις οποίες μιλάει, οι οποίες έχουν οργανωθεί από το Ευρωπαϊκό Κοινοβούλιο, τον ΟΗΕ, άλλα κοινοβούλια, μεγάλα ακροατήρια στην Ινδία σε 300.000 κόσμο και σε φυλακές με 80 άτομα διαφορετικών προελεύσεων. Και μία πρωτοβουλία στην οποία συμμετείχε ήταν το Pledge to Peace, δέσμευση στην ειρήνη, η οποία ξεκίνησε το 2011 το Ευρωπαϊκό Κοινοβούλιο με πρωτοβουλία του Γιάννη Πιτέλα, που ήταν αντιπρόεδρος του Κοινοβούλιου τότε. Και από εκεί ξεκίνησαν πολλά πράγματα να γίνουν, γιατί συμμετείχαν οργανώσεις και φορείς οι οποίοι δεσμεύτηκαν όχι μόνο να υπάρχει συζήτηση για την ειρήνη, αλλά να υπάρχει κάποιο έργο μετά. Και πράγματι υπήρχε κάποιο έργο που ήταν απροσδόκητα μεγάλο και έδωσε ένα παράδειγμα ο Πρέμ Ράμπατ, που ήταν ο βασικός ομιλητής της εκδήλωσης αυτής. Συνεργάστηκε με τον Τζέρεμι Γκίλι, που ήταν ένας ειρηνιστής ακτιβιστής. Έκαναν μια συνέντευξη με πολύ καλή σκηνοθεσία, η οποία μεταδόθηκε και την είδαν εκατομμύρια άνθρωποι από όλο τον κόσμο. Είχε δηλαδή μια επίδραση σε πολύ μεγαλύτερη κλίμακα. Και επίσης υπήρχε και μια επίδραση στα σχολεία στην Ιταλία, που αυτό θα το δούμε καλύτερα στο βίντεο που θα δούμε τώρα. Και ελπίζουμε να είναι ανοιχτή σε οποιαδήποτε μορφή συνεργασία με όλους από εσάς. Ενδιαφέρεστε γι' αυτό, πάντα στα πλαίσια του σεβασμού της διαφορετικότητας ο ένας με τον άλλον, αλλά έχουμε κάποια βασικά κοινά που μπορούν να μας ενώσουν.
Ζητώ συγγνώμη, Μαριάννη, πείτε αν έχετε την καλοσύνη ότι υπάρχουν πρόθυμες ομάδες εθελοντών να διδάξουν την ειρήνη και στα ελληνικά. Πείτε το, είναι αδελφοί που ενδιαφέρονται σε φυλακές, ναι. Όπως πηγαίνετε ήδη και στις Αθήνες, στις φυλακές, στο Κορυδαλό και στη Λαμία ή
στη Θήβα.
Στη Θήβα. Λοιπόν, πέστε το και σε νοσοκομεία, σε σχολεία, λίγα άτομα κτλ. Αυτό πρέπει να ακουστεί.
Ναι. Αυτό το πρόγραμμα είναι ένα μεγάλο πρόγραμμα, το οποίο μεταφράστηκε 2 χρόνια μόλις, πολύ μεγάλο έργο, και είναι διαθέσιμο για να προσφερθεί σε πάρα πολλά μέρη. Όχι μόνο φυλακές, πανεπιστήμια, νοσοκομεία. It's about the peace education program, which has been recently translated in Greek, and it's available in prisons, in hospitals, in universities, everywhere, all around the world.
Мне выступил сейчас представитель одной из так называемых миротворческих организаций, которые там призывают к миру там, и так далее. Но на этом, как говорится, деле многие пытаются позиционировать себя, поскольку идея сама борьба за мир, она везде известна. Вот, поэтому их фонд работает, где-то на один день, где-то они войну там какую-то местную там приостановили, вот их максимум достижений, но они сами говорят, одни 365, значит 364 дня воюют, а они восстановили. Потому что это, как говорится, невозможно такими, как мы уже с ней обсуждали, она как ходила, я говорю, вот идите сейчас в Сирию и скажите, остановитесь, куда стреляете, они вас убьют и все. Поэтому, значит, как говорится, интенции, или, как говорится, стремления хорошие, а результат пока слабоватый. Но все равно они пришли и очень даже не ожидали, что здесь так много как раз тематика близкая к ним. Okay, thank you. Sound? should be with sound. It should be with some sound.
Έχει ήχος το... Έχει ήχος.
But I'm a human being who holds very close to his heart the fundamental.
Hosted an international conference at the European Parliament called Peace and Wellbeing. International peace advocate Prem Rawat was the keynote speaker.
So, I'm not a politician, but I am a human being who holds very close to his heart the fundamental principles and the possibility of peace on this earth.
A highlight at the event was the signing by many leaders present of a pledge to peace, a commitment to do something tangible for peace in 2012 and beyond.
Ognuno, piccolo, grande, giovane, vecchio, in grado di incidere o in grado di incidere meno, ognuno può partecipare a costruire un futuro in cui regni la pace, il rispetto reciproco, la dignità, la concordia.
Among the signatories of the pledge was Convito Nazionale School in Rome. The Convito students have taken their commitment seriously with an annual peace competition involving all schools, primary, middle, and high school.
Quindi intorno a questo tema della pace cerchiamo di coinvolgere non soltanto i ragazzi e ovviamente sollecitare la loro attenzione e il loro interesse, ma anche le loro famiglie e ovviamente i docenti che lavorano intorno a loro. Quindi per noi è stato veramente un progetto che ha coinvolto a largo respiro tutti i soggetti che vivono nella nostra scuola, gli studenti, i docenti e le loro stesse famiglie.
Io penso che la pace sia importante per noi generazioni nuove, perché noi siamo il futuro, quindi quello che facciamo noi adesso lo ritroveremo nel mondo fra 20 anni, 10 anni, 15 anni.
In December 2012, the continuing importance of the Pledge of Peace was stressed at a conference entitled The Declaration of Brussels Pledge to Peace. From the European Parliament to Rome, the path of peace continues. The conference was held at the Sala Zuccoli di Palazzo Giustiniani, home to the Italian Senate. Speakers included the then President of the Senate, the Minister for the International Cooperation, the first Vice President of the European Parliament, Gianni Pittella, lifetime Senator Emilio Colombo, and Prem Rawat, prominent international speaker on the theme of peace.
I say to the whole world, don't be fooled by the glitter. Don't be fooled by the progress that we think is progress, because progress without human progress is no progress. It is building a building without foundations. I have to commend President Gianni Pittella, President Emilio Colombo, and so many of the people who have taken on this noble cause, who address this issue. Because the mantra of people today is only one. the things that is wonderful about laughter, about happiness, about joy, and about peace indeed, is it's contagious. Spread this contagious feeling of peace, the need for peace in this world.
Di ambasciatore, lo ripeto, di pace del Beach to Peace a Mr. Fred Rabat.
60 students from the Convito Nazionale Vittorio Emanuele II, seated in the Sala di Presidente close by, were able to watch via a live video link. Afterwards, Prem Rawat went to speak with them.
La mia domanda è, se l'uomo per natura ha sempre avuto l'istinto di dominare sul prossimo e ha sempre usato la guerra per farlo, siccome non si può cambiare la natura di tutti gli uomini, non risulta utopico o irrealistico parlare di pace nel mondo?
It takes cooperation to make the building. It took cooperation to make the roads. It takes cooperation to create the cities. Human beings have demonstrated tremendous amount of greed. Human beings have demonstrated great amounts of anger, great amounts of confusion, great amounts of arrogance. But human beings have also, over the period of history, demonstrated tremendous amount of cooperation. And is there love? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's up to you, each one of us, to make a conscious decision whether we reject love or hate, anger or joy. Do you keep the bad and let go of the good, or do you keep the good and let go of the bad? Which one are you?
Allora, per me, come ovviamente credo per ognuno di noi, è abbastanza scontato avere la pace e viverla quotidianamente. E devo dire che fino a ieri non vi avevo mai riflettuto abbastanza, perché la davo come una cosa sufficientemente scontata. Quindi devo dire che sentirne parlare così tanto e capire quanto sia importante mi ha aiutato a capire che non devo mai darla per scontato e che devo cercare di coltivarla ogni giorno e di portarla avanti anche nel mio piccolo e nelle cose più semplici.
When I talk about peace, believe me, and don't mistake this, I am not saying I'm going to bring peace. We all are going to bring peace, okay? We all are going to bring peace. Everybody has to be interested in this. I'm not saying I am some angel that fell out of the sky. I am not. I'm just like you, interested in peace. I started very young. Here I am, and I'm still doing what my passion is. But it is all an effort, a principle. And Presidente Colombo, people, you will be interested in peace. This is the role of this world. Believe me, this is the role of this world. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. And we come to our next speaker. We promised from the last session is our friend Jeffrey David.
Thank you. Before I start, I just returned from the United States, and I was there as an emissary, is that correct? Yes, that's the right word, of the European Schools of Public Health, with a topic to discuss with the Greek American community and also with the White House, the humanitarian disaster going on in Greece. The second was that I was the special representative of the European Center for Peace and Development, which is in Belgrade, to negotiate an agreement between that institution in Belgrade and also Long Island University in New York, in Brooklyn. And we came up with the slogan that what we would like to do is to shrink the Atlantic River to the length of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Very good.
Thank you very much indeed. Never good with technology. Okay, so Belgrade, this is Market Street, if you will, downtown Belgrade. And this is the European Center for Peace and Development. This is a very beautiful painting of Kalamagdan Castle by our past president of the Academic Council, Takahiro Togo, a friend of TV. And it's a beautiful painting. He was a senior Japanese ambassador, and he was very much interested in peace and prosperity and human security, which means freedom from want and freedom from fear. And the first talk by our president yesterday went through the history, the League of Nations, which had global health, the United Nations, which had the World Health Organization, and of course their aims were to actually reduce disease, to prevent famine, and many, many other things. And of course, I just want to say something, because Syria has come up a few times during the time I've been with you, and one of them was that when Syria was being carved out on the map, an advisor to Lloyd George was asked by Lloyd George, the Prime Minister, "What's this? This is Syria. What is it?" "Not much. Give it to the French." And this is apparently a very true story. The European Center for Peace and Development, its mission to promote peace, reconciliation and socio-economic development, as well as international cooperation. International cooperation, hence my trip to the United States, where I spent 1 week with Long Island University in Brooklyn, discussing with the president, vice presidents, and the School of Public Health that they have in that institution. And it derives from the United Nations Charter following the establishment of a University for Peace, which took place in Costa Rica. There is the University for Peace, San Jose, in Costa Rica. And this institution ensured academic freedom, but it also added to the universities that already existed, but its mission was to try to develop research for peace, education for peace. Its focus also in Europe, in 2012 in The Hague, was something very similar. But the European Center for Peace and Development actually was the first European arm of the University of Peace of the United Nations in Europe. And it all started by the mandate, and it was conceived, as I said, to add to existing academic expertise. It has a lot of activities. This just shows some of them. It is in touch with various regions, Russia, the Black Sea region, Eastern Mediterranean, etc. And so It has programs, Global Health School, a school of diplomacy, and one of the things that I'm very much interested in is to develop health diplomacy, because it is a tool in public health, and it is a tool to bring about reconciliation, in this case, after the wars and ethnic cleansing. It has a number of programs. I've just put down some. The Balkans in the 21st century. And let me say that there is an interesting book written by a Serbian who is in the United States that says the Balkans, the first and last Europe. It's a kind of an ominous title that tells us Europe, take care of the Balkans, but I would say also Europe, take care of Greece, and various other things. It is active in Ljubljana, in Slovenia, in Pula, in Croatia. I would just like to draw your attention to that program, which is a program in biomedical engineering, and it is a degree, a doctorate degree, that will be given by a Serbian institution for Croatian students. And I was part of the development of that program, and 30 students from a particular hospital, and I think the first doctorate is now just coming out. Another one, Prizren, Kosovo. Prizren is perhaps the only Ottoman city that exists in the Balkans today. Sarajevo has changed tremendously, but Prizren is still there. There were a number of atrocities in 2000, ethnic cleansing problems, but looking at that city today, it is an absolutely fantastic city, requires the help of the world to bring it back to its status. Did I go backwards? I think I went backwards. So the ECPD is in the Balkans, and I just draw your attention to multinational, multi-confessional, and multicultural qualities of this very rich region that fell apart as the Ottoman Empire became the weak man of Europe, and the powers that be came in. But these qualities of multi-confessional that brings peace have not always been used to the best of purposes. The Balkans, sometimes it is called Southeastern Europe. It is being fragmented, and one of the things is to try to put this together. Balkan troubles, which Greece has shared parts of, as you know. You can see, since the Balkan Wars, the Spanish influenza, health, dictatorships, World War II, the civil wars, ethnic cleansing wars, and the breakup of the former Yugoslavia. One of the problems, human security, instability, the transition to a market economy from the Soviet Union, and we've heard references to trafficking. We are worried about AIDS from the East, and at this instant, Europe is expecting Greece, a country close to bankruptcy, to ensure the sanitary barrier, the sanitary shield. And that is very difficult. It has to keep public health together, but unless you have the resources to do this, then it is greatly difficult. And now we see the migrants, the refugees from Syria coming in, for example. And I'd just like to tell you that 5 years ago, as the troubles were starting, I was at the Strategic Center in Damascus and for public health developments. And one of the things that we tried to put on the agenda and failed, we've got a lot on the agenda for education in public health, but disaster management when you have tremendous crises, and it was obvious that Syria was moving to a terrible crisis, and we see the results today, in which health again, there is an ongoing polio epidemic, and children are not getting their vaccinations, and this is a great danger to whole region. It has potential danger for Greece. Families are moving, and we know the numbers, we hear the horrific numbers, and there are children who are moving